Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar on 5 common design mistakes to avoid in Power BI reports. I'm excited to guide you through some of the most common pitfalls that can occur when designing Power BI reports and, more importantly, how to avoid them. Power BI is a powerful tool that can transform your data into insightful, visually appealing reports. But even seasoned users can make mistakes that hinder their report's effectiveness. Whether you are a beginner or have some experience with Power BI, this session will provide valuable insights to help you create more efficient and impactful reports. Here at Advisicon, we help organizations achieve greater impact by leveraging work management technologies to accomplish more with less. As work management consultants and technology specialists, our focus is on streamlining processes, improving systems, and achieving better outcomes. Let's dive into our agenda and start making the most of Power BI together. We will explore how background choices can affect the readability and visual appeal of your reports. Discover the importance of consistent spacing and alignment to create a professional and organized look. We're going to learn how to select and use fonts that enhance readability and convey the right tone. Understand the role of padding and white space in preventing clutter and improving the user experience. We will discuss how to use color consistently to highlight key information and maintain cohesive design. And we will wrap up with a summary of the key points and best practices discussed. By the end of this webinar, you will have a clearer understanding of how to design Power BI reports that are not only visually appealing, but also highly functional and user-friendly. Before we dive into our webinar, let me share a bit about myself. I'm Shams, a Power Platform developer at Advisicon. As a CRM and Power Platform consultant, my journey has been all about designing, implementing customized solutions using the Power Platform, which includes Power Apps, Power BI, and Power Automate. While my expertise spans the Power Platform, I am especially passionate about Power BI. The ability to transform raw data into insightful, actionable visualizations truly excites me. So today, I'm here to guide you through our webinar, exploring practical tips to maximize the impact of your reports and dashboards. Let's dive in. We will delve into how the choice of background can influence the readability and visual appeal of your reports. Choosing the right background for your dashboard is crucial for enhancing readability and visual appeal. Here's how to make informed background choices. First, you choose backgrounds that enhance readability. So, what to look for? Opt for backgrounds that make your text and data easy to read. A good background should provide enough contrast with the text and the visuals to ensure that information stands out clearly. For example, you can use neutral or soft backgrounds behind your data visuals to ensure that your charts and text remain legible. Avoid backgrounds that blend too closely with your content. Second, avoid overly bright or busy backgrounds. So, what to look for? Backgrounds that are too bright or busy can distract from the main content and make it harder to focus on key information. These backgrounds can create visual noise that overwhelms the viewer. For example, steer clear of backgrounds with high contrast patterns or intense colors that compete with your visuals. Instead, choose subtle textures or solid colors that don't overpower your data. Ensure that there is a balanced contrast between your background and the elements placed on it. Proper contrast helps in distinguishing between different parts of your dashboard and maintain a coherent look. By following these guidelines for background selection, you can create a dashboard that is both visually appealing and highly functional, enhancing the overall user experience. Uncover the significance of maintaining consistent spacing and alignment to achieve a polished and organized appearance. Effective alignment and spacing are essential for creating a polished and professional dashboard. Here's how to optimize these aspects. Use grids and guidelines for alignment. What to look for? Grids and alignment guidelines help ensure that your elements are positioned consistently. Use these tools to align visuals and text, creating a structured and organized layout. Most design tools offer grid and guideline features that make this process easier. Maintain consistent spacing between elements. Consistent spacing between visuals and text contributes to a clean and organized design. Ensure that the spacing between different elements is uniform to avoid clutter and create a balanced layout. For example, use equal margins and padding around your visuals and text blocks. This ensures that each element has enough breathing room and the overall design doesn't appear crowded. Align visuals to create a cohesive layout. Aligning your visuals, such as charts and cards, creates a cohesive layout. Proper alignment helps users to follow the flow of information more naturally and improves the overall aesthetic. For example, you can align the top edges of all your charts or center align your charts. This alignment makes it easier for viewers to navigate the dashboard and understand the relationships between different pieces of data. By implementing this alignment and spacing practices, you will enhance the readability and professionalism of your dashboard, making it more effective for your users. Now let's find out how to choose and utilize fonts that boost readability and set the right tone. Fonts play a critical role in the readability and overall design of your dashboard. Here are some guidelines to ensure your font's choices enhance the clarity and effectiveness of your visuals. First, you choose a legible font with clear distinctions. So, what to look for? You select fonts that are easy to read and distinguishable from one another. This is especially important for viewers who will be scanning your dashboard quickly. So opt for clean fonts that provide clear visibility at different sizes. Limit the number of font styles. What to look for? Using too many different fonts can create a chaotic and disorganized look. Stick to a few font styles to maintain a cohesive and professional design. Typically, using one or two complementary fonts is sufficient for most dashboards. For example, you can choose a primary font for headings and another for body text, and you can ensure that the fonts complement each other and create a unified visual style. Use size and weight to create hierarchy. You can utilize font size and weight to establish a clear hierarchy of information. Larger and bolder fonts can be used for headings and important metrics, while smaller and lighter fonts are suitable for secondary details and labels. For example, for key figures like total selling value or profit percent, use a larger and bolder font to draw and lighter font to maintain visual balance. For example, for key figures like total selling value or profit percentage, use a larger and bolder font to draw attention. For supporting text or the labels, use a smaller and lighter font to maintain visual balance. By carefully selecting and using fonts, you can improve the readability and overall design of your dashboard, making it easier for users to find and interpret the information. Now let's learn the importance of padding and white space in reducing clutter and enhancing the user experience. So let's talk about spacing and alignment. Inconsistent spacing and misaligned elements can make a report look cluttered and unprofessional. So, to avoid this, use grids and guidelines to align your visuals and text. Consistent spacing between elements is key to creating a cohesive layout. This not only improves the aesthetic appeal, but also helps users navigate and understand the report more easily. White space or negative space can greatly enhance readability and user experience. So, what to look for? is white space helps to create a clear separation between different elements on your dashboard. It makes the content less cluttered and easier to read. Ensure there is enough space between charts, text, and other visual elements to improve overall clarity. For example, avoid placing charts and text too close together, so use white space to clear and create visual breathing room, making the information more digestible. Avoid cramming too much information. So, what to look for is overloading your dashboard with too much information can overwhelm users and make it difficult to find key insights. Focus on presenting only the most relevant data and use white space to give each element its own area of focus. If your dashboard contains multiple charts and metrics, consider grouping related elements together and using white space to separate different sections. Ensure adequate padding around visuals. Padding is the space between the edge of a visual element and its content. Adequate padding ensures that charts, text, and other visuals don't feel cramped. This makes the dashboard look more polished and helps users focus on the information presented. When placing a card or chart on your dashboard, ensure there is sufficient padding around it. This will help prevent the visual elements from appearing cluttered and will enhance the overall user experience. Now we will explore strategies for using color consistently and purposely to emphasize key information and create a unified design. Now let's talk about the role of color in your dashboard design. Effective use of color can significantly enhance readability and impact, but it's essential to apply it thoughtfully. Here are three key considerations. Develop a consistent color palette. Ensure that your dashboard uses a consistent color scheme across all visuals. This means using a defined set of colors for similar types of data or categories. Consistency helps in creating a cohesive look and makes the dashboard easier to understand. Use color to highlight key information. Colors should be used strategically to draw attention to important data, points, or trends. For example, use a bold color to highlight key metrics like total selling value or profit percentage while using more muted colors for less critical information. Be mindful of color blindness considerations. Ensure that your color choices are accessible to users with color blindness. Avoid using color combinations that are difficult to differentiate for colorblind users, such as red and green. Instead, use high contrast colors or patterns to distinguish different data points. To wrap up, we've explored 5 common design mistakes to avoid in Power BI reports and shared practical tips to elevate your design and usability. We discussed the importance of choosing the right background, ensure backgrounds enhance readability without being overly bright or busy, achieving consistent spacing and alignment, use grids and guidelines to maintain professional and organized visuals. Using fonts effectively. Select legible fonts, limit styles, and use size and weight to create visual hierarchy. Implementing adequate padding and white space. Avoid clutter by providing enough padding and white space around visuals. Ensuring consistent and intentional use of color. Develop a consistent color palette. Use color to highlight key information and be mindful of color blindness considerations. By focusing on these design elements, you can create Power BI reports that are not only visually appealing but also effective in communicating your data. Thank you for watching this webinar. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. Like or follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We offer many free trainings in our online academy. You can access those by visiting advisicon.thinkfic.com. For projects managers, simply become a member of Advisicon Academy to receive the code to redeem PDUs. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you next time.